Zori. Those of you who are pregnant or who have just recently delivered, you have been getting text messages from Zori, our Mama's Nest nurse. So Zori, how many kids do you have?
I have 2 boys. One is 4.5, and the other one is almost 10 months.
And how long have you been a nurse for?
70 years.
Lots of experience. And what's your favorite part about being a nurse?
I love helping kids, or helping moms, helping people. I've worked in L&D before, so this is very close to me, especially being part of Mama's Nest Ministry. I get to share my experience with moms and make a little bit, some difference in their life.
Awesome, thank you. So if you're receiving a message from Zori and you're pregnant, she's going to check up on you. She's going to say, how are you feeling? Can we pray for anything? Do you have any questions? Need any help? Just so you know, this is beautiful Zori, and she is our Mama's Nest nurse. Thank you, Zori. And Hala, where's Hala? Halusa. This is Hala. Every single month, you guys receive a notification reminding you about Mama's Nest. It's from her. So Hala, how many kids do you have?
I have one girl.
What's her name?
Melody.
Melody. And what's your favorite part about Mama's Nest?
Мені подобаються усі теми, які тут проходять, і я кожен раз по 3-4 рази їх переслуховую.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Halichka. So when you guys receive a message from Hala, that's everybody here should be receiving messages from Hala. So you know that's her. You can talk to her. And if you're not receiving monthly messages, maybe we got your phone number wrong or something, come up to either me or Katya. Where's Katya? Is she in here? Well, she has a name tag. So come up to Kate and let her know, hey, I'm not receiving messages, and we'll try and figure out what the issue might be. Okay, so that's it for today, and we're going to introduce our speaker, Mr. Oleg. We're so excited because we did like a little first aid topic before, but we weren't very qualified to do it, and today we are very qualified. So please welcome Oleg. Thank you so much.
Good morning. First of all, how many of you speak English? Oh, very good. How many in Ukrainian? Or how many do not understand English? Maybe a couple, just one person. Maybe she can team up with 5. Okay, so what I would do is, since I mostly speak English, I'll speak in English, but some important information I will relay in Ukrainian as well. Are you guys okay with that? Yeah. So, my name is Oleg. I'm working for Kasumnes Fire Department. That's in El Grove area and Galt. 8 stations. We ran about 20,000 calls a year, so a pretty busy department. I've been with Kasumnes for 13 years. I'm a firefighter paramedic. I've been a paramedic for 14 years and worked on an ambulance prior to that about 3 more years. So I have a combined experience over 16 years. And going back, obviously I volunteered and all that stuff. So 2005, I graduated out of high school, went to college. Then I kind of stopped going to college because I got married about 17 years ago. And went back to college, started working on an ambulance, went back and finished paramedic academy in 2003. I got hired, at that time I worked for the ambulance company, so I worked all over the area, Sacramento area, and as far as San Jose and as far as Reno. So I've kind of been all over California trying to get into my career. Currently, I'm assigned to Station 45, and the Station 45 is down in Galt. Predominantly Spanish-speaking, so I had to learn a little bit Spanish. We run quite a bit medical aids. 70% of our calls are medical calls. So any medical aid you can think of, having difficulty breathing, heart attacks, strokes, minor injuries, kid injuries. Calls for kids are actually very minimal. So for us to run kids calls, we train on mannequins. We continuously train. But I'm going to talk about kids because it's very important. I believe kids are, because every time I get a call for a kid, for a child, And yeah, my hand started because I know it's very, very difficult call for parents and for adults. When it comes to adult having issues, it's very common. So originally, I'm from Ukraine. I was born in Lviv. My family immigrated to Sacramento. Not my choice, but I'm glad my parents did it. And we lived in Sacramento since 1991. So currently, I live in Sacramento, and I work down in El Grove, so it's only 15 minutes drive time. So I'm going to get my helper, Anthony. That's my son. Say hi to Anthony. And I'm going to set up my gear because we're going to talk to kids first. And then I'll talk some more about fire safety, burns, fire extinguishers, smoke detectors, and all kinds of stuff, car seats, helmets, and all that. Meanwhile, while I'm talking, if you have any question, please ask, as long as you don't interrupt, but just ask, raise your hand. I'll be more than happy to answer. If I can't find an answer, if I can't answer right now, I promise you I will find an answer. I'll follow up on it, and I'll find an answer for you. One more thing. The reason I'm doing this, I'd like to take Ola. Thank you, Ola. She's back there. She made a phone call about a month ago, I believe, or so, maybe 3 weeks ago, and she asked me if I can do this. I'm like, of course, I'll be more than happy. Normally, I do this for kids. We do this on duty for schools that are local within our fire station, and we teach kids about fire safety. It's very important, and I'll talk about it some more once I get my gear. So, like I said, I'm not doing this for money. If you guys want to donate somewhere to some kids, some charities, to some missionaries. This is for all of us to learn and to be better at our lives and have our kids growing up safe. So I'm going to get my gear. I'm going to set up here. And meanwhile, I'm going to be going back and forth. You guys ask me questions, and my helper is going to help me here. So, okay, here you go. I got one more helper here. So let's move this table all the way this way. So on this table, I have some stuff. So those are like books. Those are for kids, helmets, and stickers. So that's for you kids. You guys will pick someone, an adult, who's going to give out those hats and stickers and etc. to kids, because I'm sure kids love it. And when I was a kid, I loved stickers. So, but this was a luxury for me when I was a kid. So I'm going to get my gear set up, and I'm going to talk about fire gear, and I'm going to put my gear on, and I will specifically, the reason I'm putting the gear on, so we can show it to kids. Kids do get scared seeing firefighters in their foot outfits because they do look scary, especially when there's a smoke and flames and etc. So with that being said, I'm going to get back here, and I'm going to get my gear set up. So, and I will definitely talk about my stuff, what I have here. So, okay. Well, I'm going to go one by one. So, we have different gear. This is what we call a structure gear, right? So, this means this will protect us only from being cut. It's called abrasive material. So, when we go on a car fires, car accidents, structures, anything that has to do with dangers that might be sharp objects, this will actually, it's very hard to cut this material. It's a called outer layer. This outer layer is basically what it is, what you see firefighters wearing. And it gets pretty hot on a 110 degrees day, I guarantee you. So just 4 days ago, we had a fire. When I took my boots off, I was draining fluids out of the boots. So it was pretty yeah, it gets pretty hot. Back here, before I put this gear on, I have a rescue device that goes under my armpits like that, and it comes back here. And so when I need a rescue, if I go down, firefighters can actually grab this, and they can grab my jacket, and they can pull me out of the building if they had to, really, really quick. Now, our gear has 3 layers, right? This is our second layer. This layer right here protects us from heat. This is not any different like what you guys, when you ladies are cooking, right? And you take food out of your stove, cooking tray, right here. This is very similar to it. This gear and this section right here will protect us from all the steam. Because every time we put a water on the fire, it converts into steam. It gets really hot. The temperatures I've been inside, not necessarily, at the highest point, I've seen more than over 1,000 Fahrenheit. So it's pretty hot. Person can survive inside the building, inside the burning building, with no smoke at about 280 degrees or so. That's, and those friends who I have who tell me they go to sauna and they heat it up to about 280 degrees, I tell them, I don't believe you. So usually when there's a fire, people don't die from a flame, they die from smoke inhalation. That's why I'm going to talk about fire detectors or smoke detectors. So that's that, and yeah, let's bring everything out, buddy. And of course, I have a backup set of gear. It's kind of clean. I did clean up after we had a fire, because we have to. And so my second gear, we call this gear a turnout gear. The turnout gear, basically the whole setup consists of boots, inner pants, so I can put them on easily, helmet, obviously a coat, and a mask, and a couple other things. So in order for me to respond to a fire as a firefighter, I have 1 minute to get dressed. So, and believe it or not, I can do it. I've done it quite a few times. So, you guys want to time me? Sure. I'm going to have to take everything out of my pockets, including the microphone. But I can go fast, but believe me, I can put this on in about 45 seconds. I've done it a few times. But I'm going to go slow. The reason for that is I want to explain to kids kind of how we put it on. And later on, if you guys want to challenge me, I'm up to a challenge. So now, to put a gear on takes 1 minute, and then I have a pack. We call it this air pack. I know, because I've done many times over and over again. This pack will last me 17 minutes. Based on my physical agility, it will last me 17 minutes, and that being, I'm going 100% effort. It's not meaning I'm walking around. I'm talking about if you ever run a sprint, if you've seen a tiger or dog or something chasing you and you're running for your life, that's called max effort. Your heart rate reaches certain effort, right? So in my case, it would be about 180 beats a minute. So to work in this, to put this gear on, it will last me exactly 17 minutes. Then my alert will go off. If I go down, I know if I have a quarter of air left, that can last me 45 minutes because I can work on skip breathing, and I would hopefully my guys will come in and get me. So. Additionally, I work in different positions. Even though my position is a firefighter, paramedic, I work as an engineer. Engineer is the guy who drives the fire engine, the guys who pumps water. He's not really like an engineer, like a building engineer, but we call him engineers, or a driver. But it's mathematics and all that stuff involved. So there's times I do that position, and a lot of times I work in a captain position. We call it company officer or just an officer. And currently I'm a number 4 on the list, so I'm hoping at some point I'm going to get a promotion, hopefully. So I'll pray to God that it'll happen soon, some point. So anyhow, I'm going to show my gear and we'll go from there. So, before I show my gear, hold on a sec. I've got to show you one more thing. Yeah, so when we are in a station, this is our station stuff. We got a boots, comes with the zipper on. You guys see that zipper? It's not because I can't tie my shoes. It's because we have to take our shoes off fast. When you guys come to a fire station and you see a garage sale, it looks like a garage sale, it means we gone on a fire or something, because we just take our stuff off, put this gear on, and all that. So, I'm not a police officer because I don't have a gun. A lot of kids come to me in the store and say, hey, police officer. I tell them, I'm not a police officer. I don't want to be confused by a police officer. I do respect police officers. We recently heard the news what happened in Sacramento County, but I am not a police officer. So, because all police officers, at some point, they want to be firefighters. It's a joke. We joke around a lot. So this gear made out of Nomex, so it doesn't burn. It's probably, I would say, if you light it on fire, eventually it will burn, but it will not burn eventually. So when we go to a fire, usually we have these pants on, this gear comes off, and I have kind of t-shirt on. Or in the middle of the night when we are sleeping, then I sleep in my shorts. I'll just run out, put my gear on. So that's it. Can you put it away, buddy? Okay, so when we respond to a call, we get a call, right? During our daily activities in a station, we do whatever, training, exercising, eating, sleeping, maintenance. We only sleep at night, by the way. We don't sleep all day. I wish that would be the best job if I slept all day long. Because I can't. I have a new baby at home, and she keeps me up. So we take our shoes off, put our shoes in like that, and oh, hold on. Somebody put a prank on me. Yep, the guys at the work do that all the time. Especially when you have a 1-minute drill. So pants go on just like that. I put a suspenders on, and the reason I put suspenders on because once those pants get heavy, they do tend to fall off. So, and that right there usually takes me about no more than 10 seconds. Taking my shoes off and putting pants on. I'm pretty much halfway there, right? What I do next is, now that may work or may not. Let me see. Is that okay to bend this microphone? Yeah. Okay, like I said, I don't want to damage anything. And this kid's where ninjas came from, fire department. Now I have this hood on. It actually doesn't burn as well. It's special material. And it protects my ears, back of my neck. My hair is protected, right? Everything's protected. And obviously, I'll show you my face piece in just a minute. So, and obviously I have this cool thing, looks like a glove. And that's for if we are fighting fire or doing some work and we reach out, we don't get water or any hot embers into our armpits, our arms, and we don't get burned. So, and that's it. I'm pretty much done right here. See? All I gotta do next is put a helmet on. Like I said, it takes 45 seconds for me. Maybe more, maybe less. If somebody pull a prank on me, I can still do it. So, I think we still have microphone. Okay. So obviously, the last thing we have left is our helmet, right? And this right here, this will get me to the car accident. So if we go to a car, fire, cat stuck on a tree, any rescue, we'll put this gear on. I have a couple things on me. Obviously, I still have my radio. Normally, I can't take it radio from work, but I have my radio in here, and I usually keep it right here so I can communicate. Each firefighter carries the radio, and every time we go to a fire or any large disaster or a large call, we switch to a different channel, and that channel is designed only for us to talk on. Not necessarily to so anybody else in the county cannot hear us, because that would be too much. We call it radio traffic. Now, I have a flashlight right here, and I have a few things in my pockets, and the reason for that is, I think I took the belt off, but the reason for that is just for my own things to help me do my job better. Like I have a couple things like we call it straps, so if I need to pull a hose, I can make a quick connection, right? I got a hose here. Let's say we have a hose line. I can pull the strap and I can pull the hose. And I can actually, if I need to rescue someone real quick, I can put this around someone's wrists and I can pull them out. I know it sounds, horrible, but better have someone out of the burning building with broken wrist than being, significantly more injured or potentially. Yeah. So a couple more things I have here is another, I call it wristlets because these I can put also on people's hands. And this is my tool that I can pretty much, with addition to what I have, an axe and a couple other items, I can force any door. And this is just a wedge to keep the door open. So if your door is locked, we can get into the house with no problems. The difficult doors to force are the commercial ones, but in order for us to get into this building, you just pop one window open and you're inside if you have to in case of emergency. So I tell my friends who do construction, I tell them, I don't get paid to fix stuff, but I get paid to break stuff legally. And it's kind of true. So now, this is how we normally would come off, or get in the fire engine. Now, once we get inside the fire engine, we have a seat. A couple of you guys have been to my fire station. Inside the fire engine, there is a seat, and this pack is actually sitting inside the seat. So we get in the seat, and we literally put this straps on, and the pack is on our back. And on the way to the call, we pretty much get ready. I can do this with my eyes closed or in my dream because I've did it so many times. And so, anyhow. So this pack obviously comes with a couple items. This is my regulator. That's what the air gets from pack into my face piece. Anthony, could you hand me my face piece, please? So I will turn this pack on, kids. It will make some noise. It's okay. It's normal. Noise are going to start making some beeps. So this right here, when it vibrates, it tells me I have low air. And the beep actually tells me a couple things. So I'll stay still for a second. So right here, I have a couple regulators. One is it actually glows at night. It's green, shows me how much air I have, which is full. When I get the orange, and if I'm still inside the structure, I better be 10 to 20 feet away from a door. If I'm not, I'm in trouble. So, and this will remind me. If I don't move for 30 seconds to a minute, I have an alarm, and this alarm will go off. It starts sounding louder and louder, and then that goes off. And it gets louder. I'm not going to go to full alarm because you guys not going to like that. So now, Anthony is going to hand me a mask. Can we turn this mic off? Because I'm going to take this mic off for a minute. I don't think he can hear me. Anyways, my mask, here's my weakest link. It fails at about 380 degrees temperature. So that means when it'll start melting. Obviously, 380 degrees, there has to be direct heat. So it starts melting and all that stuff. When we are in that temperatures and stuff, obviously, I have to do a firefighter dance because this will go off if I don't, if I don't move. So, anyways, mask has actually built in like a speaker and a tiny microphone. We can actually attach our speakers to it and communicate that way. But that's just, just a little mask. But I'm going to take my mic off right now. Okay, so maybe you guys can still hear me. So, can you guys hear me? How about now? Hello? Hello? Okay, that's better. So, mask on. So this mask and this pack is additional 1 minute to put on, right? That's why I put this, we call it a hood, or kids call it ninja mask on, right? So my ninja mask on. Hey kids, am I ready to go fight fire? Yes? No? How about my hands? I need something on my hands. What is it? What is it I need? Oh, yes, I need gloves. All right? What else do I need? I need a helmet. My son tells me I need a helmet. So I put my helmet on. Okay, I get my gloves. Thank you, Anthony. Can you guys hear me okay? Yes. Okay. The gloves are on. Am I ready? What do you guys think? No. What else am I missing? There's something else I'm missing, right? The regulator, yes, the breathing piece. So the regulator, I'm going to put this on. It's going to pump and make a sound, and I will sound really different, okay? Because I will switch from breathing this air in this room to breathing air out of this bottle. Okay, you guys ready? So now I'm breathing air out of this bottle. So when I go and fight fire, I rely on the bottle here. So when we go in the fire, kids, we usually get low because smoke is really hot and it goes up. The hot air goes up, it rises. That's why we teach you guys to climb or crawl under the smoke, okay? Anytime there's a fire in the house, you climb under a smoke. Do I look scary? No? So when we go on fire, we go like, hello, fire department, firefighters here. Anybody in the house? Hello, fire department. We make loud noises so we can get the kids, right? Or get the people out. Do I look scary? No? Okay. High five, knuckles in. You guys okay? You're not scared? Okay, good. Hello, fire department, knuckles in. Get out of the house, there's a fire. Come on, kids, out of the house. Right? Come on, kids, out of the house. Boom. All right, so this is how we fight fire, right? We have few components when we go and fight fire. Number one is life safety. So we try to rescue people and make that our first priority. Okay, I'm back. I felt like I just went back to sauna. Okay. I'm losing my microphone. Do you guys have any questions? Any questions, guys? Питання є у вас? No questions? Okay. I'm going to take my gear off. So, if I were to keep this bottle on and just walk around really, really slow with minimal physical activity, this bottle would last me an hour and a half. We call this 1 hour bottle. The reason it's called 1 hour bottle, it's designed to last you 1 hour. But, you know, if you practice, keep breathing and all that stuff, it lasts you a little bit longer. So I'm going to turn this off. And I'm going to make some more noise. And few more beeps, you guys. Okay. My pack is off. Kids, do you have any questions? Any questions? No? Oh, feels nice. Now, parents, if you guys want your kids to take a picture around this gear, you are welcome to do so. There's no problem. One thing I'll ask is not to put this helmet on the kids, specifically this helmet. It's heavy and some kids might get injured. But I have another helmet back here that is much lighter. And if you guys choose so, you can put it on. Yes? Yeah. Okay, kids. I'm going to talk to you about 5 minutes. Are you kids ready? I need your attention, kids. So, I'll talk to you about fire safety, okay? Number one, here, I got to get my notes here. It's real quick. It's very important. That's why I have a notes. Okay, here we go. Okay, kids. Very important. Never play with matches, lighter. Sure. Sure. Okay. So never play with lights, matches, lighters, right? So ніколи не бавтесь ігрушками, спички, так? Сірнички, зажигалки. Це інструмент для дорослих людей, для мами або батька, так? Бо якщо дітки бавляться тими інструментами, може початись пожежа, так? Ми цими інструментами не бавимось. Не трогайте гарячої плити, або гарячої барбекю, або інструменти, так? Плойка, так? Це для мами або для батька. Кожного року, мінімум раз в місяць, я б рекомендував. Рекомендується раз в тиждень провіряти smoke detector. Так? Це треба провіряти так, що ви батькові скажіть, нехай провіряє мінімум раз в місяць. Це домашня робота для батьків, дітки. Я вам даю домашню роботу. Це ще не все. Коли цей smoke detector починає сигналити, так, саме краще, що ви можете зробити, це вийти із дому, чим поскоріше. Не встановлюйтеся для своїх собачок, кішок, да, для своїх ігрушок. Виходіть на вулицю. So, whenever you hear smoke detector, you guys get out of the house fast. Don't stop for your toys, for dogs, cats, or any of your pets. Because I guarantee your pets will get out as faster than you are. And your fish will be safe in the water. Yeah. Okay? Another homework assignment. Ще одна домашня робота. Make fire escape plan with your parents. Okay? Домашня робота. Вам треба зробити план евакуації із дому при випадку пожежі. Добре, дітки? У мене тут є книжки, в цих книжках ви можете глянути і намалювати план прямо в цій книжечці. Коли ви вийшли з дому, ви поговоріть з батьками місце зустрічі. Де ви хочете зустрітись? На вулиці, в сусіда, під деревом, ззаді. Я батькам рекомендую 2 місця, щоб було. Хоча було або на бекярді одне, і одне впереді дому. Так? 2 meeting place, right? Once you get out of the building, burning building, go to your meeting place. The one you guys will decide with your parents. Now, if you are in a bedroom, якщо ви в своїй кімнаті, і ви почули дим, або запах диму, або ви почули smoke detector, так? То і ви в кімнаті, це ваша кімната, ви підійдіть до дверей, потрогайте двері, не так рукою, а задньою, right? The back of your hand. Тому що якщо ви взяли двері і хочете відкрити, і ви свої руки опекли, if you burn your hand, you're going to have a hard time getting out of the building. So, потрогайте двері. Якщо двері не гарячі, тоді можете відкрити. Якщо там є дим, так, дітки, якщо є дим, я говорив, crawl under the smoke. Так, під дим, пролізьте з-під димом і вибігайте на вулицю. Окей? Двері в вашій кімнаті, the door in your room, we call it 20-minute door. If you have flames and heat behind your door, it will protect, this door will protect you for 20 minutes. So, якщо у вас вогонь в коридорі або на вулиці, або ззаді дверей, в домі всередині, 20 хвилин ці двері мають простояти. Двері, які йдуть в гараж, вони мають закриватися, self-closing doors. The garage door is 1 hour rating. So you can have fire in the garage 1 hour before it actually burns through. Because your garage door, you can look at it, it's really solid, and it should be self-closing. If your garage door is not self-closing, it might be wrong door. So you gotta look into it. What else I have for you guys? Very important, kids. Stop, drop, and roll. Who knows what stop, drop, and roll is? You know it, huh? Anthony, can you show us stop, drop and roll? Якщо ваша одежа загорілась, ви остановіться, ніколи не біжіть, падайте на землю, закривайте лице своїми руками, cover your face and roll. Stop, drop and roll, так? І ви... Good job, buddy. So, ніколи не біжіть, коли у вас одежа загоряється, тому що ви тільки цей. Більше дасте кисню вогню і вогонь більше розгориться. Okay. Know how to report fire. Вам треба, дітки, знати, як правильно користуватися телефоном 911. Так? Це телефони для ігрушок, а це дуже серйозна справа. Якщо є пожар в вашому домі, вибіжіть на вулицю і позвоніть від сусідів. І якщо ви навіть неправильний адрес дасте нам, якщо там є настоящий пожар, ми знайдемо. Ми побачимо вогонь і дим. Правильно? And don't be afraid of firefighters. Не бійтесь пожежників. Ніколи не ховайтесь від вогню в своїй кімнаті. Ніколи не ховайтесь in a closet, так? Або під ліжком. І ще одне, що я хочу сказати, я своєму сину постійно кажу, якщо в нас в домі є пожежа, якщо ти не можеш через двері вийти, виходи через вікно. Якщо ти вікно розіб'єш, you're not in trouble. So, також, якщо ви на другому поверсі, то я рекомендую, якщо є пожежа, то двері мають бути закриті. І коли діти сплять вночі, ми постійно закриємо наші двері. Тому що, якщо пожежа почалася в одній частині дому, діти все-таки, навіть оцей дим і цей вогонь не зайде в кімнату дуже швидко. А якщо діти, які кімнати відкриті, то вони самі більше пострадають при пожежі. Yeah. Any question, kids? Yes, who has a question? Oh, you're waving your hand? Okay. We can give out the kids the books and helmets and stickers if you guys want to do that. And I'll set up for my next part. Так, звичайно. Is stickers. Go out, give out stickers. Okay. I'll take my gear off and we'll talk some more. Так, батьки, у вас питання є? No? Так, дітки можуть, якщо... І якщо пізніше я говорив вже, якщо ви хоч дітки або ви батьки хочете сфотографуватись, будь ласка. Okay, now I have a message for the parents, for moms. It's very important. I will talk about children's safety. Безпека для дітей. Я не знаю, скільки або як мені дуже тяжко підходити до батьків. І я по роботі я говорю. І сказати їм, слухайте, ваша дитина не вижила при аварії. Дуже просто, тому що не було сітбелта. В мене був випадок. 2 машини, вони в лоб столкнулись. Всі люди, було один водій був в одній машині, в другій машині було 4 пасажира і дитинка в карсіті посередині. Всі люди померли, крім дитинки. Вона була в карсіті правильно пристігнута, ця дівчинка, менше року, і вона вижила. Ні царапинки. Тому я говорю, car seat safety, very, very important. Кожен раз, коли ми виїжджаємо на аварію, і ми бачимо машину, яка попала в аварію, і ми бачимо car seat, і нікого немає в car seat, ми обшукуємо все місце, весь район. Кожен раз. У нас були такі випадки, що був туман, і дитину ми знайшли прямо на полі. У нас є камера, ми кажемо thermal imager camera, ми її достаємо, і вона по цій камері можемо побачити температуру. І такі, як то силует тіла, ви, може, бачили в фільмах, поліція, вертольотах, вони також користуються такими камерами. І на жаль, коли в мене такі випадки, я дуже жалію за батьків і звичайно, я дзвоню додому і питаю своєї жінки, як наші діти. Просто-напросто. Щоб вам зрозуміти, самий найефективніший спосіб безпеки в машині – сітбелт. Батьків – сітбелт для дітей. 1000 дітей поранені або вбиті кожен рік. Закони сітбелт, вони почалися десь так в кінці 60-х, початку 70-х років, тому що National Safety Institute and Traffic Department of Transportation дуже в Америці багато машин почало появлятися, дуже багато смертей. І вони зрозуміли, що треба було сітбелт. І вони почали лап-белт. Старі машини, якщо взяти всі, хто інтересується машинами, старі Ford Mustang 1960s, в них тільки лап-белт є. І це, в принципі, пізніше зробили не зробили 2-point restraint, пізніше зробили 3-point restraint. Для дітей то має бути more than 4-point restraint. Навіть для дітей рекомендується 5-point restraint. Аварії трапляються аварії 1 mile from a house. Statistically. So by me as a parent saying, I'm just going to get my kid in the car and run down to Trader Joe's, which is 2 miles down the street, with no seatbelt on, I have a high potential of injuring my child. Now, when it comes to drunk driving, when a drunk adult gets in an accident with the child inside, it's a felony because it's a child endangerment. I've seen quite a few drunk adults going off the scene to jail, and their kids going temporary to protective custody. So very important. Children under 2 years of age shall ride rear-facing. Раніше було до року, але ми почали замічати, що до року навіть діти, в них були neck injuries, травми позвоночників, так? Шиї. So 40 pounds and 40 inches. По 18 кілограм або 102 сантиметри дитинка має бути rear-facing. Коли в мене батьки, я говорю за своїх родичів, я може деякі приклади приведу, вони кажуть, а що мені робити, моя дитинка в машині плаче. Я говорю, як вам краще було, щоб дитинка в машині плакала в car-seat, чи б ви разом з дитинкою плакали в лікарні? З результату я не кажу, I'm safe. Yes, you're driving safe, but other people don't drive safe. Look around, how many people don't drive safe? Anytime I see, when I drive and I see somebody drive not safe, I honk and I show my badge to tell them to slow down. And yes, fire department can give tickets. We don't give tickets for driving fast or anything like this, but when we call in and report a license plate, that person's going to be pulled over at some point. So, but we don't want to deal. But when it comes to, I'll change the subject a little bit, parkings, fire lanes, bad parking, all that, they can give tickets as a fire department. The reason I don't do it, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to go to court. I don't want to do that. I ask people nicely, can you move your car, please? Now if you're going to school, pick up your kids, I understand, not a problem. But, or business or around church, yes. But people pull up in front of a grocery store. If it's elderly, it's okay. But you see a lot of young kids, they just pull up and park the car and they go inside the store. Like they have an emergency. So, I'm like, that's one of my pet peeves. I don't like that. I don't like when people are bad parking or when they drive through parking lots or streets fast. Because every time I see cars driving fast, in my mind, I'm thinking, this guy might hit someone. Because it's just registered in my hand. So, again, 40 pounds, which is 18 kilograms, or 40 inches tall, rear-facing. So, they have to be facing the rear. Так? Дальше. Children under age of 8 must be secure in a car seat or booster seat in the back seat. So, менше, ніж 8 років в карсіті мають бути або booster seat на задній сидушці. Деякі діти, вони можуть постарші, якщо в машині немає місця, нема проблем, але якщо 6-7 років діти, тим більше вони менші діти, вони впереді сидять, це є небезпечно для них, тому що там є в машині ербеки, і ербеки, вони коли вони взриваються, ви знаєте боксер Майкл Тайсон, це був такий сильний боксер. Це airbag is punch of Michael Tyson. So якщо Майкл Тайсон мене ударить, I'll be down on the floor. He'll knock me out. So airbag вистрілює швидкістю 200 миль за годину. 200 miles per hour. So представте, яка швидкість airbag. І тому не рекомендується меншим дітям бути на передніх сідушках. Тим більше не рекомендується car seats, rear-facing car seats бути на сідушках впереді. Тому що коли airbag стріляє, от airbag стріляє, він дитинку, виходить, просто-напросто задавить в карсіті. Якщо потрібно вам мати дитинку в карсіті в машині, на передній сідушці, вам має бути цей on and off switch. Airbag має бути виключений. В тих людях, які мають trucks, pickup trucks, є такий цей on and off airbag switch. Цей airbag switch має, якщо у вас, це крайній випадок, якщо, наприклад, я проведу приклад, маленька Toyota Tacoma чи маленький pickup truck, тоді можна дітей мати впереді, але щоб airbag був виключений. Тому що якщо airbag включений і попали в аварію, це буде дуже поганий результат для дитини. So children under age of 8 or 4 feet 9 inches, це 145 сантиметрів, they have to be secured by booster seat at the minimum. So booster seat in the minimum. Якщо в неї є car seat, це no problem. Кожен раз, коли ми виїжджаємо на аварію, наша робота, ми взяли людину, дитинку, чи цей, може вони навіть не пострадали. Кожен раз поліцейський підходить. Раз, два, три. Раз, два, три. How old are you? How old are you? How old are you? Okay, mom, here's your ticket. It's not your fault. Every time I see a young mom gets an accident, and not by choice, not by fault. I'm at the light, somebody hits the car in the back. It's not your fault. The officer's usually going to give a ticket. That ticket might cost as much as a nice car seat. So might as well buy a car seat. And I'm being serious. And every time I ask the parents, was your child in the car seat? Mom says yes, and she's like, no. Who do you believe? And when you have conflicting stories, then yes. So again, 2 years of age, 40 pounds, 40 inches, rear facing. Then they can go in the back, switch after that age. So they're pretty close, let's say year and let's say 10 months, and they're more than 40 pounds and more than 40 inches long, that's okay. 22 years or или же 2 года, или же 18 килограмм, 102 сантиметра. My kids, when they get in a car seat and their seatbelt is not on, I'll know about it. If I start pulling away, my son, my daughter will tell me. Or if I don't put my seatbelt on yet because I'm still trying to get out of the parking lot, Dad, stop, put your seatbelt on. I have a control in the back seat. So kids learn. They learn visually. Whatever we tell kids, they may not learn as much as what they see what we do. Don't do what I do, or do what I say, not as I do. So if you do that, or if you do that, because I see that, how many times I'm driving, and my son goes like, "Come on, you just cut us off," and he sounds exactly like me. I'm like, I guess somewhere I said it. So it's very important. So, any questions about car seats? Very important. I see kids in the car seat all the time. I drive in the fire truck. I looked over because I can see it. Kids walk in the car all the time. All the time. And you're like, come on. And now, there's some families, if you tell them, they're going to say, oh, you're discriminating me. So it's just, it happens. And there's families we told, and they're like, it's not your business. You're not the cops. So we're going to, yes?
What age should a child move from like a convertible car seat into a booster? Or what are the size recommendations on that?
Over 40 pounds and 40 inches.
From car seat to booster?
Yes. What they recommend is under 8 years of age, they can be in a car seat or a booster. So over 2 years of age, if they're fairly tall kids and they're good size, they can be in a booster. I would recommend putting them in the car seat. Every kid, I would recommend a 2-year-old kid put in the car seat for maybe another year and a half, maybe a couple of years, and then move on to the booster. I have like 5 car seats at home. Well, we give it away, but for each kid we had a car seat. Like we had a baby car seat, then for my daughter, for him. Now we just went backwards. We have one more, and it's like, and every time you buy a brand new car seat, and it's not about, believe me, it's not about $1,000 car seat. that's not going to make a difference. Actually, these studies show those $1,000 car seats, the very expensive ones that nobody going to see, but people like to spend money because they think it's good. It's a waste of money. Brightex is a very good company. You don't have to go far. I know there's other companies. I mean, I can talk about car seats because I just recently went through different car seats, and I've seen how they improved. I used to install car seats, but there's a class I have to go every 2 years, and it was getting for me very difficult. People would come in, and I would install their car seats for them. Yeah, so police department and fire department have car seat programs. So if you need a car seat installed, they can install it for you. I'd say you're our Slavic people, Ukrainian, Russian, or Ukrainians. I'll tell you one thing, that your husband's probably be able to get it done, no problem. Because every time you have come in and they're like, excuse me, can you install my car seat? My husband can't do it. Okay, there you go. That was it? Well, yeah, it's, okay, so anyway, so I'm sure your husbands can help you. Yes, there's 3 questions. Let's go left to right. No. The reason I recommend, the reason I recommend buying a brand new car seat, if you have a new child, buy a new car seat. If you buy a used car seat and it's been an accident, it may, this is not me, I'm just telling what the law says, it may not be safe.
Can you use one car seat from your first kid and then use
Yes. Now, normally when you get an accident with your kid, the insurance company will pay you money for a brand new car seat. Yeah. So it has happened to my wife. She was with my sister-in-law. They driving, and mentor made a U-turn, and it was his fault. But he's just scratched the car. My wife said, I felt like, we were just driving. She had a small SUV. She's like, I felt like I had a bump or a curb. It wasn't a big deal. The insurance company is like, no, here's how many car seats? Oh, we had this. Here's money for your car seats. If you had 3 car seats during the accident, if you had 3 car seats in the car, they'll pay you for 3 car seats. If you have minivan and you have 7 car seats, then they'll pay you for 7 car seats. As long as, obviously you have to be honest about it. But in our case, it was my wife with our kid, and then sister-in-law so there were 3 kids in the back. So basically, insurance company gave us the money, paid us the money, so we gave them 4 car seats. And we ended up getting a new car seat because it was perfect time to upgrade. So we used that money for upgrade. The sister-in-law, I don't know, so I can tell you. Yes.
When we buckle near you put that into a press.
Mm-hmm.
So we buckle it to the seat like this.
Yeah, there's a base.
And then this side flips.
Oh, shift side to side? It shouldn't shift. I would recommend maybe trying to go to a fire station, police department, and I have a link actually online. You can look it up and schedule an appointment. They can install it for you. There's no charge. Remember, there's no charge for, this is public safety. You already pay tax, it's already taken care of. So they'll do it for you. I would recommend maybe use a regular car seat and use one of my booster seats. I did that. I used the car seat and I put a seat belt underneath it, under the base, so it won't shift back and forth. And then I used clip in. There's a clip, since they go in a chair, right, between the chairs, they're supposed to clip in. So either those, and they have to be really tight. And there should be level, right? There's a level right there. It should be level. So as long as you have that, you should be fine. But if base is sliding side to side, probably not a good idea. If you secure with the seat belt, that is a good idea. But I would suggest going to legally. I cannot install a car seat because if anything happens, I get sued. Not that you guys will, but somebody gonna go out and go after me. That's how this is. So it used to be like people come in, I would put a car seat for them. Now I have to go to a class every year, and I just don't have a time. And so I wish I did, but and so legally I cannot even go in somebody's car. And I can help people out, but from legal standpoint, I can be in trouble. There was one question over here, and I'll go ahead. You tell your insurance adjuster you had a car seat, and they'll have to pay. It doesn't matter what like I said, my wife's, we had a scratch. They look at it and she's like, hey, I'm an easygoing guy. I'm not, high maintenance. My wife isn't high maintenance or anything. I'm just regular guy. She comes in, she's like, hey, I got in a car accident. I'm like, are you okay? Yeah. She's like, we have a scratch in the car. I'm like, okay. Can you drive it? Yeah. Okay. Drive home. And, I'm at work. If you need me come home, I'll come home. And she's like, no, I'm fine. I got home, a little scratch. Insurance company looks at it. He's like, we give you $1,500 for this damage. I'm like, it's a scratch. Here's the money, and here's $300 some dollars, whatever the deal was for a car seat. And if you have a more expensive car seat, you gotta show them a receipt, and they'll pay for that. So some people might have a little more expensive car seats, and as long as you have a receipt, so keep your receipts. And I'm serious. And because one was like a little more than 300, they paid. We had to send them a copy, and they did. So, yes.
Can you also talk about the 5-point buckles with
So, when you have a child, right, especially for 5 points, right, you have shoulders, right, you have a point here, right, and you have hips, right, you got a hips right here. So basically, upper one is the one that usually misaligned. Usually I see it gets down to abdominal area, has to be on the chest, like right across the middle of the chest. If you don't have that, your child can still get out of it with shoulders. Believe it or not, it's just, that is to keep the seat belts right here together. Because if you have it down below, I've seen people do that, and I've seen kids get out of the car seat. They were out of the car seat like that, and the straps were behind them. In an accident. In an accident, yes. They can literally, and they can hurt themselves. So it becomes then a motorcycle accident. Because usually when I see motorcyclists, when they hit an object, they go to the handlebar and they break their femur bones right here. And that could potentially not be a fracture for kids, but they can have an injury as far as they can pull their muscle or, dislocate their joint, usually their hip, and they're going to be in a lot of pain because dislocated hips are very painful. Because when somebody has dislocated hip, we give them a lot of pain medications. It's very hard. So putting a child through it like that, it's, would be just smart. Not all the kids like it. My daughter doesn't like it right now. We just being patient. She doesn't like it here, she likes it here, and we slide it, she cries, and we play this game, but it's very important. Especially, might have been important years ago, but it's just accidents continuously happen. So there's a strap, right? This strap, there's like a dual strap, and it has a clip. It comes in like this, and it slides up and down, so make sure it's up, and you click it in. And make sure it's tied. If your child can do this in the car seat, maybe 2 inches, and that's way too much. Так, якщо в карсіті є ці ремні, і в них є такі клипс, як це, защолки. Ці защолки мають бути посередині груді, отак, in the middle of the chest. Child, якщо вони нижче, я бачу багато дітей в районі живота. Тому що вони більше свобідні, їм подобається краще. Але при аварії, я бачу, діти, вони виходили, ремні випадали. Тому що ремні не були сильно зажаті, і вони отак були просто на плечах, і вони при аварії. Щоб вам пояснити правильно аварію, я коли went to medical school, мені вчитель так поясняв, нам вчитель. Christmas tree, йолка, так? You put all the ornaments on it. Star, different ornaments, head, your heart, your liver, your organs. And this Christmas tree, you're running and you hit the wall. Boom! It stops. All these ornaments are shaking. That's what happens to inside of your body. You go on 40 miles an hour, you hit something, and you stop right there, you hit a wall. That is a significant injury. That is enough to rip your heart off and kill you. I mean, it sounds horrible, but literally the heart is hanging like this on your aorta, and if you hit it really hard, your heart goes this way, ruptures aorta, pops all the blood out inside the chest cavity. And it's very sad, but so imagine how important it is to have a seat belt and all that stuff, car seats, and because that would save you. And also, I want to add to it, loose objects in the car. People get injured from loose objects in the car. If you have people have like a drunk when they have beer bottles. I thought somebody beat the guy up. The guy rolled the car and that bottle just rolling. It was like in a, what do you call that? A washer, when you put your clothing in the ocean. This guy just came out, he had so many injuries, and I couldn't figure out what happened until we saw that bloody bottle inside. It was just like, whoa. Yeah, so objects, I'm surprised that, he was alive, but it happened. So, any more questions? And I'm sorry, I'm being graphic. If I'm too graphic, tell me to stop. Okay. Let's talk about additional seat belts. No, we talk about seat belts. Helmets. Так, ми кажемо шльом, байк, шльом для велосипедів. Дуже важливо. Мій син тільки недавно гіпс зняли, впав з велосипеда. Did you have a helmet on when you fell off your bike? You did? Okay, good. So, here's statistics. Every hour, so 50 kids visit emergency room in related biking, scooter, accident, hoverboards, and all these devices every hour. So, за одну годину попадає в лікарню 50 дітей. Це по цілій Америці статистика. Out of those, so 50 дітей, 11%, 11%. So 50 kids, 11%, let's say what is about, let's say 11%, 5 to 6 kids have serious head injury. So every hour, 5 to 6 kids have significant head injury. So 5-6 дітей получають черепно-мозгову травму. За результату, що в них немає helmet або not properly put on. That's very common. And then так, age appropriate. When you buy a helmet or somebody gives you a helmet, if it's too loose on the kid, I would not put it on. If I buy a helmet, I would read the label based on the age, and the helmet actually has you can adjust the straps to fit the kid. And my kids, they don't ride somebody else's scooter or bikes. I had niece that let her cousin ride her scooter. She broke her arm, and it wasn't pretty from the other side. So the others, yes. If a helmet is too loose, yeah. It doesn't have to be choking them, but, snug. It has to be snug. If it's hanging off like this, yeah.
We were at a store looking at helmets, and the guys, the salesperson was saying it's not supposed to come off the chin.
Yeah.
If it comes off the chin,
If it,
it's too big.
well, it's gonna just fly off, yeah. So, and then almost 40% of parents of the children ages 5 to 14 say their children did not wear a helmet. And those parents who ride the bicycles and they wear a helmet, 86% of their kids will wear the helmet. Those parents who do not wear the helmet, only 38%, so that's like less than half, will wear helmets. So basically me telling Anthony, put a helmet on, but I ride my bike without the helmet, Anthony's going to tell me, well, I have a helmet on. Well, I'm an adult, yes, but you told me to put a helmet on, and you don't put a helmet on. That happens, I have a helmet on my bike. He has a helmet on. Everybody has a helmet on. We don't ride the bike with no helmet on. It sounds silly, but again, it's just imperative that kids have helmets on, because if they don't, the injuries could be very, very significant, yeah.
Should kids have, those bike attachments? So if you're riding the bike and they have...
Yeah, the trailers, yeah.
Should they have something for those?
I would recommend yes, but if you're really careful and those are they're pretty sturdy, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be worried about it. That's kind of a little bit over the top. My kids did not when we had a trailer, but I wasn't doing anything significant. I was just riding the bike trail. So I would not ride on the street though. I see people ride on the street, and especially it's getting dark. It's very dangerous, because it's just the drivers we have around this area is just unreal, literally. So helmets can reduce the risk of severe brain injury by 88%. So if you have 100 kids that crash on their bicycle, so 88 of those kids will be safe, they're not going to have a head injury. So that's a significant number. So, and obviously, I would recommend if you go buy a helmet, maybe my recommendation, this is what I do sometimes. I go to places like Sports Chalet, or I wouldn't go to Walmart or Target at times. I would go to sports stores like Sports Chalet. Another one is REI. And I'll go to a guy who's an expert. And I'm like, hey, tell me about the helmet. And they'll tell me about the helmet. And I look at it, and I can see it, or I can look it up online, and usually it's cheaper, like Amazon or something, or the same brand. Or go in, have your child fit it. That's the best way. So helmets definitely reduce significant injuries, and head injuries specifically. Let's see. Do you have any questions, guys? Yes. Поліцейський може дати штраф. Вони обично не дають, але що я бачив, обично, коли поліцейські бачать дітей без хелметів, вони на них кричать: "Get off your bike, work your bike home, or I'll talk to your parents." І обично діти слухають. Також pedestrian cross, right? Коли пішохідний переход, you cannot ride the bike on pedestrian crosswalk. You have to walk your bike. I've seen people riding their bikes and people hit. So one is, this is kind of a funny story. Older person come up, talk to him. He doesn't speak any English. Start talking to him in Russian. He speaks Russian. And so this girl was in the car. She sees a green light, and she goes. And this guy just, as she's ready to go, he just rode his bike on a pedestrian right in front of her, and she hit him. She just had the rear tire was enough to send him off the bike, and that was it. So not her fault. So police officer tell me, could you tell him to get a helmet? And could you tell him that I'm not going to give him a fine today, but next time I see him, because I see him all the time riding this street, he's going to get the helmet. So we're riding, me and my partner driving the ambulance. He's like, hey, here's your buddy. This guy bought a football helmet. He's riding the football helmet on. And I'm like, you know what? At least he's feeling safe, But, he learned a lesson. So, anyways. So bikes, scooters, motorcycles, dirt bikes, anything, wear a helmet. Can he ride the scooter on a... Mm-hmm. No. So you guys might be familiar. You guys see a lot of scooters in Europe? The reason for that is, and the same thing here, 50cc, that's the size of engine. So they treat scooters under 50cc's, it's a small engine, as a bike. You still have to have a helmet on. That's why you see a lot of scooters in Europe, because buying a car and having a car and all that, especially in big cities, is very, very expensive. You have a scooter. Like when I was in Barcelona, I seen scooters. That was the most places I've seen the scooters. It was like everywhere. It's like anywhere you go, there are people on scooters, and it's kind of nice because there's less traffic. But under 50 cc's, so electric is okay, but helmet is important or mandatory. I would be okay if he drives on pedestrian, like a sidewalk, but he has to be careful because if he's going too fast, Also, the hoverboards, they're saying they're supposed to be illegal on public streets. So if you have kids and those, just know if they come home with a ticket, that could happen. It all depends on police officer, The whole thing is about us or police department talking, it's about education. It's not about police officer wants to write someone a ticket. There are some guys like that, but mostly police officer wants to educate. The reason for a ticket is to get somebody's attention so they learn from it. Otherwise, just if you yell at a person and they just a bad cop and they leave, and I'm speaking for myself when I was a youngster, I did that. So anyways, the police officers and us, we don't want to write tickets. I don't want to be looked at as a bad person. I want to be like, hey, somebody help, I'm there to help. It's my job, so. Any questions regards helmets, bikes, scooters, what else we have? Okay, nope, okay. Talk about burns and electrocution. So real quick, there's different type of burns, right? Electrical burns, chemical burns, or just burns from objects, maybe plastic, tar, or just burn from hot water. Best treatment when it comes to electrical burn is make sure electricity is off. I would not touch the person, because electricity, that's what hurts people and more likely will stop their heart if it's strong enough. Because your heart is driven off electrical impulses, and you give it a shock, basically, you can stop the heart. So it's very important to, I would stay away. If we have calls like that, like I said, I'm getting very nervous, because electricity is something you can't see, you can't really confirm it's off, especially, maybe in the house you can turn the circuit breakers off, but it's very important not to touch a person, I would say, and call 911 right away. I wouldn't wait. Those are, electrical injuries, or, people get injured and they do get charred and burned. And you usually see entrance. If I touch it here, it's going to be entrance and exit. You may not see anything else in the body, but electricity will travel more likely through my blood vessels, because it's a path of least resistance, and will go out because electricity wants to go down. So it's very important not to, around kids, electrical sockets and forks. I've done it when I was a kid back in Ukraine. I look back, I'm like, I'm still alive. I don't know how, but that was not a smart thing to do, but anyways. So to stop the burning process, if you have any other burns, I'd say don't put any oil. People like old way teaching is put oil on. Let's put oil on. Best way to do is run under burn area, run under water. Maybe not really cold water, but just normal water. Just let it cool off and call fire department, call 911. We go by percentage when it comes to burn and degrees. Percent is pumped, so this is 1%. If I have a burn entire arm, I call this about 9%. Obviously 100% is entire body, but if I look at percentage and I look at degree, first, second, third degree. First degree looks like a sunburn. Third degree, people are not going to feel it because they burned all off their nerve endings. Second degree is very painful. So second degree burns, I cannot give enough morphine to get the pain out. I'm not talking pain out. I'm talking just take the edge off. Just literally, I can give them so much morphine they get to the point where they may stop breathing because that's a side effect. They're still going to be in pain. So burns are very, are the ones that will can hurt and kill person at the end result because of infection. Your skin is your largest organ in your body, protects you from outside environment. Once you get burned, infection, and that's why we recommend not put a bunch of stuff on, but run under water. The less you touch the person in the burn area and more like clean area, the less chance for infection to set in. So we have burn kits in our ambulances. We will take him UC Davis. That's only a hospital that has a burn unit. And you actually guys seen firefighters walking around collecting money. That money is a charity going to the burn unit. That's not to us so we can get the money. We get paid plenty of money. That goes to burn unit, and usually in Sacramento area we collect $1 million. Shriners Hospital is also a hospital. It's not part of UC Davis, but they are very good with burns, usually kids. I have, back in the day when I worked in an ambulance, we had transfers from airplane out of Mexico, kids that have been burned, and they were flown in out of country into airport, and we took them to Shriners. So Shriners is actually free of charge unit. My daughter actually ended up going, not for burn, she had an arm injury, and they had to do surgery, and it has to be specialized surgery, so she ended up going to Shriners. We were blessed that our health insurance has covered it, but it was a significant injury, and so it's a very good hospital. Some people feel awkward about Shriner stuff, but it's a good hospital overall. They have good intents. So, коли у вас є або хтось з ваших знайомих, надіємося, нікого немає, опеклись, то ми рекомендуємо, щоб ви їх не трогали це місце, де вони опеклись, хіба що водою промити 15-20 хвилин, щоб водою не дуже холодною, нормальною водою, звичайно, не гарячою. І якщо, звичайно, не рекомендується масла налажувати. Ми коли з маслом ложили давно, але ми зрозуміли, що це масло, воно само собі розтає і ще далі продовжує горіти. Якщо ми навіть фізично не бачимо, що людина горить, there's still physical burning process, chemical burning process. Тіло ще просто-напросто горить, тому водою нормально помивати, і в нас є sterile. У нас є стерилізовані burn kits, і ми натягуємо, можемо повністю ціле тіло об цей людину вложити, як замотати. Також одна лікарня – це UC Davis, яку ми веземо всіх людей. В них є burn unit, і в цьому юніті вони цей. Проблема з тим, що люди, коли вони попеклись, не початок травми, а кінець. Інфекція, від чого люди помирають. Коли люди, я бачив сам, коли я привозив людей, які були сильно горячі, їм лікарі говорили, you may not make it. You might die, I'm going to call and priest, whoever. And вони like, I feel fine. Вони кажуть, в тебе вже третій степінь, ти навіть не чувствуєш. І люди цей. Yeah. So, very painful. Second degree burn. Я думаю, що деякі, тим більше в Каліфорнії, і коли на сонці чуть побув більше часу, і ви обгоріли, це не дуже вечором пізніше, після цього, після пляжу, так? Воно це, because I had burns. So, second degree is very painful. So, no oil, масло не мазати, і в крайньому випадку можна накрити чистим полотенцем. Щоб воно було чисте, щоб не було цей. Там я взяв з кухні, там я полотенцем посуду витер, а тепер я положив цей вже. It's not gonna work. Так, питання. Okay, long time. I wouldn't try hydrogen peroxide, but water run underwater continuously, 15 to 20 minutes underwater. So if I have a burn in my arm, let's say I put my hand in a cold or burning material, and now I'm injured and I start having blisters, water. And I'm going to be screaming. I've had burns before from the fires, and I know it's not pretty, and it's very painful. So, like I said, I cannot give enough morphine to people.
Just to drive someone to be out, should you call and have them wait for them to come, or go to them?
If you have a reception, I would say call and see how far away they are. Maybe figure out a place you can meet. That way you shorten time. Depends on the burn. If I had significant burns, I'll call for a helicopter. The area I work in, I'm 30 minutes from a hospital. It's 8 a.m. It's Monday morning. I know I'm not going to make it to UC Davis in a short time. I'm calling helicopter.
Would it be smart, like, to put maybe a cold towel on while you're driving to that area?
I would say yeah, but the thing is, once you put a towel on or any dry, preferably sterile stuff, that's going to come off very, very painful. That's going to be very painful. So yeah, something just to bandage up. So if you go camping, I would recommend to get a sterile bandages or something. Just in your first aid kit, and have it safe, especially those who like to go camping a lot. And that's my recommendation. Any other questions? No? Okay. Let's see. My next topic, I want to talk about home meds and chemicals. We responded to a call, and I look at this child, and the child looks very lethargic, appears to be like he's almost falling asleep. And I'm talking to a child, trying to figure out, nobody gives me an answer. And then I hear like, а может им сказать, что он взял? And I look over at the lady, I'm like, пожалуйста, скажите. And she goes like, no, он может что-то взял в рот. Like, can I see your medication? Do you have any medications home? Yes. Okay. Be honest about it. I need to know what it is now. We need to go right now. So the best thing, kids do get into it. Don't tell kids it's a candy. It's a medicine. It's not a candy. Because I see parents like, oh, конфетка на конфетку. Bad idea, because kids are going to go after the candy again. And they usually will overdose. And kids are, so we know, I want to let you know, medications are the leading cause in child poisoning. 59,000 kids get poisoned every year. So it's very important. So I would say this, read the labels, store away from kids, upper cabinets, whatever. If you need to lock it up, lock it up. And if you need to take a medication, I don't think you are taking medication in emergency. You're not going to pass out next 10, 20 seconds. So it's important. Use it, put it back in. Don't have it convenient. I see them in the purses. I see them in the grocery bags. I see people just in their pockets. It's a bad idea when it comes to kids. Kids will think it's a candy. They will see, oh, it's around, looks like M&M's, looks like whatever, Tic Tac, and they'll take it. Kids will take it, and unfortunately, it's very difficult to deal with kids. So if kids do take it, my best suggestion is syrup of ipecac. You can write it down. So it will cause a child to vomit, or you, if anyone takes it. Yeah, it will yes. So syrup ipecac, він визиває рвоту, і якщо діти отравились чимось, то ви можете дітям дати, звичайно, дитячу дозу. Ніколи не передозіруйте дітей. Якщо ви дали дозу для дитини, а вона не працює, більше дозу не давайте, або не міняйте таблетки. Don't mix medications together. Моя тільки рекомендація, I'm not a doctor, and this is what I would do for my kids. Якщо kids having fever, parents, батьки кажуть так, I was waiting for you so we can show up and actually prove it to you that my child has a fever. Well, that's good. Have you given Tylenol? No, because it's your job. Okay, that's my job. Okay, good. Have you given anything to your child? No, because it's your job. Okay, well, we'll take your child to the hospital. So some parents expect us, fire department, paramedics, to be responsible for their kids, and it does happen. So we tell them next time we recommend going to a doctor, and doctor probably going to tell you to give you Motrin, Tylenol, alternate. Because small kids having fever, they usually which is up to years, I'd say 4 or 5 years of age, they can turn into a febrile seizure. You know what seizure is, right? It's not epilepsy. Судороги, так. Судороги – це не епілепсія. There are people and some people I talk to, and then people try to make distinction between epilepsy and seizures, and then they start talking about spiritual world, which is, there are certain things that are true, but I'm talking about physical world. Seizures, just because someone's child has a seizure, does not mean that child is possessed, okay? So just, if somebody's trying to tell you that your child is, don't listen to them. Because you know why? The doctors do not know what causes the seizure. Right now, the doctor have no root of seizure cause. So if somebody tells you that, you're like, unless you're a specialist, that you should be discovering this. Otherwise, don't, It commonly, I've heard it in our community, like, oh, so-and-so child, I'm like, no, it's not. Oh, well, yes, it is. I'm like, no, it's not. And people think, what do you know? I'm like, well, I'm in this business, and I know a few things. I've went to school, and I have experience. So don't ever think about that. So back to medications. Medications for kids, make sure you have dosages, right? Usually based on the weight. Very important. Medication that I give to kids in emergency, it's all based on weight. That's why we ask. We don't discriminate, ladies, when we ask, how much do you weigh? Because we have to give if we do have to give medications, it's based on weight. specifically kids. And kids are many dosages, but they are. Now, kids are not small adults. They are kids. Their bodies work differently. They metabolize things differently. Kid under age of 5, I won't give morphine for pain because they metabolize it totally differently than adults do. So when it comes to medications, important to store in the right place and dispose them properly. So if you want to take it to a pharmacy, get rid of it, that's fine. Don't fill a jar of medications in the kitchen and then have somebody drink it, because I had the guy who did, and I'm surprised he's still alive, but he was I know this family, a very good family, old couple, retired couple, Christian, don't drink. They were very nice people. We would come up to, for this lady, she had some medical issues. This night we walk in and this guy walking around, and he looks like he's drunk. And we're like, what happened to you? He's like, he's out there. He's out in La La Land. We're like, what'd you take? What'd you do? There's something doesn't match, because we've been here before and you guys are exemplary couple. And she says, I don't know, like, what? And finally he's like, I drank that juice. She's like, it's not a juice. So yeah, he had liver issues since then. So dispose medication properly. Don't just, don't flush them down the toilet, don't get them in the sink. Just put a Ziploc bag, if you want to throw it away, get it out of the way. So any issues, call 911. It's just bottom. Remember, you will not get in trouble. Your kids will not be taken away if you hear that kid got on medications. I had few cases that I wrote specifically. It's very difficult to get a child out of a good home. Very difficult. There are extreme cases, and even the cases that I had, I was blown away that the kid was still there, because they were, it was a very horrible situation. So it took literally an entire year and about 10 calls to that house for that specific child to get the kid out of the house into a state custody, unfortunately. So 59 kids. What else I want to say? Like I said, don't tell them it's a candy, and tell the kids there are rules. There are rules for medications. So they have to know the difference. Your older kids, teenagers, they need to know, especially if they have their own medications, they need to be trained on how to take medications. Don't just rely on it, train. And every time, if you're done with your medication, just clean up the cabinet and make sure your medications are labeled. I look at it, medication in my home, I'm like, that's not Tylenol. No, it's aspirin. I'm like, are you sure? It's going in trash, I'm sorry. And it expired. My wife's like, well, I know, I'm sorry, but it happens. And so I'm not saying nobody's perfect, and it happens in my house, believe me. But medications do. Do get in the wrong hands, usually kids. So I have a poison control number. Everyone should have that. Very simple, if you'd like to write it down. 1-800-222-1222. Це лінія допомоги отрути. Якщо хтось отруївся, це по цій лінії можна дзвонити. Але я рекомендую дзвонити 911 спочатку, а пізніше по цій лінії. Якщо людині треба швидка допомога, не чекайте, поки ви получите інформацію з лінії допомоги, а вони можуть бути в якомусь другому штаті або в другій країні. Тому що подзвонити 911 і ми, звичайно, приїдемо. Ми 1-800-222-1222. Very simple number. All twos and one. Any questions? When it comes to cuts, minor injuries, I would recommend, over-the-counter stuff. If you have bandages, all that stuff, just put it on. If you have something to wrap, like a cleaning cloth, that's fine. A broken finger does not mean you have to call 911. A broken toe doesn't mean you have to call 911. A stomach pain for 3 weeks or chronic illness, but we run those calls. If we took the calls that are not necessary, we would probably cut our call volume by 50%. And those calls they are necessary, and then we go to the hospital, lights and siren. If we only ran those calls, we would probably run 1 call a day, if that, versus 10 calls a day. So using 911 system and calling 911 is very simple. So you call here Citrus Heights, it goes to Citrus Heights Police Department. They ask medical or emergency. What kind of emergency? If it's medical, they go to fire dispatch, transfer. Fire dispatch is in Rancho Cordova. Rancho Cordova fire dispatch dispatches entire county. Entire county, we can hear entire county on the radio, except city of Sacramento. They have their own world. They're in their own world, and city of Folsom in their own planet. So even though their fire department, city of Sacramento does not have enough ambulances. City of Folsom doesn't have enough ambulances. For being a nice city, I'm blown away. If I were to choose, if I had some kind of medical emergency and I was deciding whether I want to live in Roseville or Folsom or in Elk Grove, and I wanted good care, I would move to Elk Grove. I worked there, and not that just because I worked there. Very different, very simple. I'm working I'm on a call, my wife calls me. When she calls me, something's going on. Usually I get a text. She calls me, she says, hey, your daughter hurt her arm. She's like, it looks bad. And so as she's talking to me, at some point, I guess she sent a text message, which I didn't see. She's like, hold on, I'm gonna get firefighter on the phone. And so my wife, and I hear, she's like, oh, here you're talking to my husband. He's an acting captain at Station 73 right now. Would you talk to him, please? And the guy on the phone says, hey, man, what's up? I'm like, hey, how's it going? Yeah, your daughter hurt her arm. She's fine. She doesn't need an ambulance transport. I'm like, and you are? Oh, dude, I'm telling you, she's fine. I'm like, okay, tell you what, I want to talk to my wife right now. So I'm like, honey, can you, if they help you into the car, can you drive to the hospital? She's like, yes, I can. So she did. At the same time, as I'm talking to this guy, we are on a call in school, a guy who hurt his elbow wrestling, and the family, not white, but a family insists that we give him pain medications right now, we give him best treatment possible. So I'm trying to deal with this family, trying to give him the best treatment possible, while the same fire department on my family, we consider to be family, is telling me like, dude, don't worry about it. And in addition to that, we got the $185 bill. So my wife was not happy. I didn't follow through on it, but if that was happening in my department and my firefighter called in like this, we would have had a serious conversation. Not just me, if anybody. In our department, hey, I'm a firefighter paramedic, Oleg Klepach, Kosunis Fire Department. I'm on scene with your daughter. Your daughter fell, broke her arm, and here are the suggestions for you. Here's what we would like to do. We'd like to take her to the hospital by an ambulance. If you choose not to, we will take her. You can come and get her, or we can make arrangements. This is how our department works. In this area, not so much. So, but they were too busy. So, yes. I had, including my kids, I had 17 deliveries. Not me, but front car, front seat, back seat, gas station, bathroom, bedroom, bathtub.
Okay, so follow-up question. If one of our moms is in that situation, EMTs and the paramedics, just for the people to deliver the baby.
EMTs can deliver the babies. My last baby. What's that? The only way I would tell a mom to hold a child is when I see umbilical cord wrapped around the neck. That's the only time. We don't normally how we trained, and it comes to this, I'm like, Mom, can you look down there and see if you're bleeding, if you're crowning? I'm not gonna look, please look. If I have a female partner, boom, she's up front. So, but I would ask, this is appropriate. This is not like, okay, let's take a look. No, we don't do that. We're not supposed to do that. If anybody does that, that's not polite. That's modesty. We respect patients. We respect their modesty. We'll do the best we can. We're there for emergency and things, when we need to see a child, we need to see a child.
When you call, is that like an emergency?
Hi, I'm having a baby.
You don't even ask questions like how long the taxes, you just go straight there?
I have 5 or 6 simple questions that my intern just finished with me. I told him a couple things. Baby, water, doctor, poo. Are you having a baby? How many babies are you having? 1 or 2? Have you seen a doctor? Have the doctor told you any complications that might be expected in the pregnancy? Has your water broke? Do you feel like you need to push or bear down? If those questions are, any of those questions is yes, I'm getting really nervous. So I've seen a baby. I've seen my partner. We stopped. My partner ran over and he caught baby, just like that, at the gas station. And yes, she was standing in front of the car just like this. And her husband was pale and he was frozen. And literally, he cut the baby like a football. I mean, it's just the third baby came quick. They went to the gas station to get fuel. And they told us it was Chevron gas station, but actually it was a different gas station. It was all mixed up. But we're driving around like this trying to find this gas station. And then finally, we're like, oh. People do get confusing information. That's why it's so important to, when you call 911, is to give them the best location possible. What I do, especially now with cell phones, go to the map, click on it, and it'll show your location, and you give them exact address. When you call 911 from your cell phone, it goes to the nearest tower, and they can pin it. Dispatch can pin it, and they can actually see your location. 60, I'd say, to a couple hundred feet. So if there's a guy, out there in a ditch and he calls because he fell off the tree and nobody sees him, at least they can say, I'm at this location, I'm behind this building, and we can at least find him. So.
So if you, for example, you are almost in labor, do you call siblings to pick you up, or should you call an ambulance?
Call an ambulance. If especially you're expecting to have a baby and you're not sure, we have no problem coming out. I wouldn't worry about that. That's what I call an emergency. A lot of things can go wrong. I've seen a few things gone wrong, especially with midwives. And I do believe in natural labor, but I also believe in safety as well. So I know labor it's a God-given, natural process that only women get to experience, not men, unless they have a kidney stones, right? then yes, but so in that essence, I'd say you have an issues, call. Pregnancies, it's important. You feel like your baby isn't moving, you're concerned. We're not going to say, oh, you call us for no reason. Now, somebody is having, yes.
Okay, I'm in labor, but I have kids with me.
Okay.
Take them with me, or what do you do with them?
Couple things will happen.
If my husband's not there, for example.
Hey, dispatch, I need police to babysit the kids. And while you go to the hospital, the police making phone calls. Have you guys seen on TV, and when there's a crime, you see a bunch of cops walking around with cell phones? Looks like they just not doing stuff, but they're talking on cell phones. They all making phone calls. They all making certain things. They investigating. It's not like they just walking around wasting taxpayers' money. Just same thing like we do in the fire. We do things. We have certain assignments. The one guy is going to say, hey, I'm going to call aunt, I'm going to call cousin, I'm going to call grandma. Okay, and they split in phone call. Not the cops are there for a reason. They're for public safety. Kids cannot go. You're in emergency. It's okay for have your kids sit with the police officer for a few hours. It's not like the kids are going to be going somewhere. The cop will stay there. I had cops staying on scene for hours at times. Yeah, tell them that you pay tax for their, right? So, anyways. Oh yes, I was about to get to that. My apologies. Okay. Let me see. Oh yeah, no problem. So drowning. So yes, let's talk about You guys have any questions, please ask. Write them down, ask. I'll be more than happy. And I know there's time, but like I said, if you need to stay longer, I have no issue staying longer. My day is free. I free up this day for you guys, so you know. So anyways, yeah, like I said, it gives me, it's just part of my job. You know, I get a paycheck for what I do. And if somebody comes into the station, not that I'm saying you should, but somebody comes and says, hey, here's the cookies, or here's the thank you note, that's like just tells me again, reinforces me that like, this is what I'm here for. It's those calls. The best calls are the babies. When the baby is born, those are my best calls. I can tell you right now. It's just tops everything else. I'll tell you one example. A couple years ago, we got a call for abdominal pain. And then update was, because here, let me finish 911 and I'll get to this story. So you call 911, goes to police department. Is there a crime or a medical? It's a medical. Okay, dispatch transfers you over real quick. Dispatchers have call takers. There's about 10 dispatchers in a room. Each dispatcher has 5 screens. When you call from a phone or landline at home, it pops up all the information. Who pays the tax, who owns the property, who pays the bills, water, cell phone, everything. All the information is there. So if people think a lot of information is available to us. Then it shows on a map where that property is, shows any closest 5 or 6 ambulances, engines, and all that stuff. It will show that on the screen. It will show the best, quickest route for the engines, who will be responding first. And as they talking to you, the call taker, the second dispatcher is getting that information. They paging out units out. We get a call for unknown medical aid at this address. That's all we get. And as we get in, takes about a minute to respond. We start driving. It's another minute to drive a couple blocks. We got to update. And we got this information, more than we need. Because as you call 911, it's called enhanced 911. Dispatch will process that information so fast that by the time we get there, I mean, literally, we can get a page full of information. So just because dispatch is asking you all the information, they won't, you know. So they giving us update. They'll be talking to us. They have actually down at their feet, they have switch. They call on the radio, switch to the phone. Call on the radio. Literally, you hear engine 45 confirming response. Okay, lady, go ahead, keep talking to me. And they put you in a hold. You can't even hear. And they're so good at their job. It's unrealistic. There's no way man can do dispatch job because man cannot multitask. I'll tell you right now. I'm one of them. You know, I got to take one thing out of my brain, out of my box, put it right here, look at it, put it back in. No emotions attached to it, right? So anyways, it is what God created us differently, and that's why we're opposite attract, right? And all other stuff. So it's just something that, you know, we enjoy seeing, and we can joke about it, but that's what it is. So, call comes in, abdominal pain, 20-year-old female. We respond, me and my partner driving in, and different area, because that ambulance is gone on a different call, that engine is on a different call, and so our company is coming from a different area. We got an update, baby come now, from dispatch. We're like, whoa. It went from abdominal pain to... We pulled up, and I see father, and he's just stoic. He's just standing there. The father of the girl who's 20 years old, who just, you know, having a baby. So now Grandpa, I'm like, hello, and he goes like, she's over there. And he just literally it's like he's seen a ghost. So I go in, I step in the house, and I hear I know I don't like to hear it right now, but I hear a baby cry. I'm like, yes, baby's breathing, airway's good. That's like a music to my ears. That makes my job easier and all that stuff. And here comes new grandma. And so walk in the house, there's a girl, 20-year-old, new mom. There's baby right there. And pick up the baby, rape the baby up. Grandpa, would you like to cut the cord? No, I'll cut the cord. So Grandpa's gone. Here comes the engine company, and luckily we had a female firefighter with us. So she's like, Jan, would you please talk to her and take a look? And I got the baby. So I grab on the firefighter off the engine. That's why we have response engine, ambulance response. Pull the guys off the fire engine into my ambulance. They can help me. I have extra hands. So a girl was in Europe 9 months ago, never had a boyfriend, comes home, had no idea she was pregnant. Day before, she was riding a horse. It's one of those stories. Congratulations, you know, and I made a comment to Grandma. I'm like, maybe you guys posted on Facebook. She's like, that's none of your business, and it's not funny. I'm like, I'm sorry, because they were trying to figure out. So when I brought the baby, that's the only time when we bypass emergency room. One of the few times we bypass emergency room, and we go directly to L&D, labor and delivery. So that's the only time, because labor and delivery, those guys are specialists. I mean, it's their area. You know, I only know this much, they know that much. So anyways, when I came back, I had like 10 nurses sitting. They're like, hey, tell us the story. Because they already know, because you call them like, hey, I have a 20-year-old, new child, this, and that. So what's the scoop? And you're like, well, this is what happened. They're like, a couple nurses coming in. Okay, hold on, I want to hear it too. I'm like, don't you guys have a, no, come on, tell it. And so those are like fun calls, and they're really nice because you see a new life coming in and all that stuff. When my kids were born, I was crying. It was something different because it's mine. It's hard to to describe. When my last baby was born, I had gloves on because she was crowning and there was nobody around. So her water broke, and the nurse came in, and she called all the other nurses. So I stepped up to the side because my wife says, "You better record this song." So, anyways, but I was very close to, and they let me cut the cord. And the doctor's like, "Would you like a?" "Yes, sir, I cut the cord." You know. But it's a great experience, you know. I mean, I can't tell any other blessings that puts a smile on your face when you see your kids, and it's just amazing. So, real quick, fire engine and fire station has engine and ambulance. 3 guys on the engine, 2 guys on the ambulance. In our department, every engine has paramedic on it. If there's no paramedic on it, if I'm trying to get off work to go home, and I'm the only paramedic, I will not be able to go home until paramedic shows up. I might stay at that station for hours or for days until they have a backfill, they call it. So, ambulance shows up. A lot of people ask why there's an ambulance. I call for an ambulance. Why there's an ambulance and fire engine? Guys of the fire engine are trained. Those are extra hands. Captain comes in, he gets a clipboard, and he's like, "Ma'am, can I get you information?" So he's off to the side. He's getting all the information, medical allergies, histories, medications, all that stuff. Tell me what happened. The information goes on right now on the computer, on the tablet, sends off to a cloud. Paramedic gets an ambulance, gets his tablet, receives all the information, everything, reports halfway down. Paramedics, you know, they do as much as doctors. If you bring doctor with you in an ambulance to the house, the doctors will do the same thing what paramedics would do, because there's nothing else you can do any better until they reach emergency room. You can really do surgeries on a field. I mean, they tried to on Princess Diana, if you guys remember that. We don't do stitching at scene because potentially of all the other stuff. But all the other stuff we do exactly what the doctor would do. Paramedics are trained exactly like doctors. They train to think like a doctor. They train to act like a doctor. I'm not trying to say that there's nothing against nurses. Nurses are trained differently. They are really good at their job. And so, but they are relying on doctors, or doctor's orders, what do we say. As a paramedics, we just basically act based on what we see, and we have certain parameters. Yes? Yes. Choking. Anthony, come here, buddy. You gotta be my, so if somebody's choking, that means usually show me universal sign for choking. So I'm choking, okay? Can you breathe? Hey, can you breathe? If he can't talk, can't cough, he's not moving air, potentially he is choking. Now, this is, again, just a version of what I would do. This is not necessarily certified or anything like that, so I don't want to be liable for anything if anything happens, okay? So anyways, find a belly button, make a fist, go above a belly button, and the kids, I would step back and I push in, like this. And basically what you're doing is you're squeezing the lungs, pushing that object out. Very simple, that's choking. If they passed out, lay them down, then you can do abdominal thrust. Anthony, can you lay down for me, please? And this is something that it looks horrible, but you do, you actually, if you guys want to get closer, you're okay to look at it. Again, this is just, I'm not certifying you, I'm just telling you what we do. We usually, again, umbilical cord, right? Just about it, we push up, just like this. Okay? Just down and up to push that object out. If they need to, we call recovery position. So recovery position, okay, Anthony, we'll go this way. So if they start throwing up or something like this, we roll them in, hand down. So usually arm like that and face down. So now they are recovery position. So that's something that dispatch will guide you through. Our dispatchers, what they call EMD, Emergency Medical Dispatch, they are actually trained to do CPR over the phone. So if anything happens, they will guide you. So those are basic. On babies, like small baby like that, how old is your baby? 6 months. So we do something different. We call it, this is all something you see in Russia, Ukraine, back blows, right? People do that. It may work. Anthony choked once. My daughter Isabella choked twice on a hard candy. Babies, best thing to do with babies, you sit down. I'm not going to take your baby, but if your baby is facing up, right? I mean, you hold the baby, right? I mean, you guys are pretty good at holding babies. Push on the chest real quick. Like we call it 5 chest thrust. Take the hand, sandwich method. Hi, cutie. Hi, look at you. So, yeah. Oh, you're so pretty. So with babies, she might be crying, but okay, gravity work, right? So push on the chest, like right here, between the nipples, okay? Sandwich method, you flip the baby over and back blows, about 5. That's the best thing you do. You see something in the airway, sweep it out, don't push any objects in. Okay, so. Oh, you're so cute. So cute. Good job, thank you. So, babies, again, chest thrust, back blows. Gravity, let the gravity work. Don't push any objects. One thing I tell you, paper towels, the roll paper towels, if you can fit anything inside there, a toy, that's what can fit in kids' airway. So if you have something like that, sometimes doctors do, they prescribe medication to get more acid in the stomach, and the acid will actually eat it out. Medication, doctor will give medication, and some doctors do not. All doctors are different. It's all personal opinion. You can have 3 firefighters over here, and each firefighter will tell you their personal opinion, and so each doctor has, yes, question? If he conscious and standing, I can probably use just abdominal thrust. We can't say Heimlich anymore because that was the doctor who came up with Heimlich maneuver, but we have to say abdominal thrust because it's, I don't know why. Anyways, abdominal thrust for anyone who's conscious. If they are unconscious, get them on the floor. The always I like to do is when I stand behind the person, I don't stand this way. I take a step back. You can always lay them down like this. Yes?
So if they can stand by themselves, not walk, you do the
Yeah, like that, behind them. If you can do it, sometimes you can put them over the chair. I've seen people do that. My case, Anthony, hard candy on a stick. Boom, he choked. And my wife, we normally, with our kids, my wife would sit up front and kids would be in the back. And she looks over and Anthony is like this. And I'm driving. So I pull over, I grab him out, and I get him out of the car. Just getting out of the car and pushing on him, just, getting the kid out of the car. He was probably a little over a year old because he was facing forward. I'd come out. Isabella's case, same thing. Hard candy. We were in a store, and the lady, she was a Japanese lady, because she didn't speak any English. I'm a dad. I got my baby. And I'm just like super excited. She's like probably 7 months old, maybe a year. And the lady looks at me, look at my daughter, and she goes pale. I'm like, I looked over at my daughter's, just like that. And she just had a candy. And so I grabbed her, and same thing, just me getting her out. And just before I could even do anything, just popped out, and she takes a breath and throws up. And the lady was nice enough to come up and help me out. And I was just like, I'm a horrible dad. So things happen. So hard candy, anything. I mean, if they have candy, as long as you watch them. As long as you watch them, that's important. Toys, anything. This size, the airway can stretch. We had one paramedic reached into airway and pulled this rubber ball out on a 3-year-old kid that hit the ball, came in his mouth, and it was one-way valve. He could take a breath in, or he could breathe out. Anytime he took a breath, because it's gravity, it would suck it in, and he didn't make it. And that was beginning a birthday party. So very important, small toys, anything like that. Don't hide it from the kids. Yeah, sandwich method. Не сильно. Можно ребенка даже на стульчик положить вот так, over the chair. Yeah, like, don't break the ribs though, but belly button. So find umbilical cord, or umbilicus, belly button, and возле пупка, над пупком надавить. Если женщина беременна, or if woman is pregnant, right? Якщо вагітна, тоді under. Don't press on the baby, go under. All you're trying to do is think of your lungs as a balloon, and you squeeze this balloon out. You're trying to pop that obstruction out. That's it. So call 911, and you can call 911, put your phone down. Our response time in this county, 5 minutes, 90% of the time. Under 5 minutes, under normal circumstances, we'll be there. So brain starts dying in about 4 minutes. So very important to call right away. If you see something wrong, call. And guess what? If you can always call back and cancel. We get a call for medical aid, we got something, then we get canceled. I'm okay with that. Nobody's going to charge you for it. And if they come in and say, you know what, sorry guys, I panicked because this is what happened, they're going to like, okay, have a good day. What are they going to do? They're not going to, we're not going to blame you for it. It happens. Better be safe than sorry. Call right away. Put the phone down. Hey, my baby's choking. I'm at this address. And you can work and talk at the same time. We hear it all the time. So. But if they're breathing, there might be partial obstruction. That's okay. But if they can't breathe, they can't talk, and they start turning color, then it's obviously, important. Yeah. So. Вода попала від чого? Submersion in water or drinking water? And then we do CPR. So in my career, I had 18-month-old, between 18-month-old and up to 70 years old, and many in between drownings. Every year in Sacramento County, we have drownings. Pool safety important. I have a pool in the back. I watch my kids as a hawk. Life vests, if you're in a lake, any parks give you free life jacket loaners. Fire departments do the same thing. We give you free loaner to go to the lake for your family, for your kids. I had an order of 50 life jackets, and we were able to fill it between our stations. So very important. It's free. Yes, there are fire departments, fire stations, and I'm sure police department, life jackets, yes. Kid under 12 years of age on a boat has to have a life jacket. Ask those parents who got a ticket. How old is your kid? He's 13. No, I'm 11. Okay. Yeah, if I was, yeah, I would, if I go on a boat and I see the guy does something crazy because I don't have a boat, I'm putting a life jacket on. I'm not taking any chances. It's just me. Other people can call me chicken, they call me whatever. I'm okay with that. I'd much rather get out of the boat and be safe than be.
All the lakes are now, they say any kid, like even by the, like just playing by the side or they have to go.
Our policy is if you are 10 feet within water on a call, we put a jacket on our department, in our department, if you don't get in trouble. So, any more questions? Anything else you guys want to ask, talk about? Якщо дитина захлебнулася, да, можна її let gravity work, I would say, but I would not try to. So the biggest problem is that I see every single time when I had a drowning in someone's backyard in a pool, the parent tell me the same thing. I was just distracted a few seconds for a minute. And every time, like I had mom, she looked out the window and she saw her son floating in the pool. Kids had a party and the sliding door had alarm, but the kids, older kids were going in and out. The younger kid didn't shut the door all the way. So the alarm wasn't actually letting adults know it's working properly. 18-month-old got out. And so things happen, and unfortunately, the best thing to do is watch our kids, when it comes to that. Pool is like, even my kids, I watch him, I'm very confident in how they swim, but even then when I have any other kids in my house, that's it, my phone goes away. I don't do anything on the phone. I watch them because that's the last thing I want to do, have someone say you should be watching and you're a homeowner and you're responsible. So that's it. I think. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we're going to pray. Let's bow down our heads. Dear Lord, I'm thankful for this morning. I'm so blessed that you are amongst us, Lord. I'm thankful for all things that we have, that all the blessings that you have provided for us, all the mercy that you have on us, and everything you blessed us with in this country. Lord, I'm asking you, Lord, to bless young mothers, so that give them wisdom so they can educate their kids when it comes to fire safety and other safeties. Keep their kids safe, keeps the family safe, Lord. Make sure, Lord, that they never ever have to call help from fire department or police department. Make sure, Lord, that they all going to be always safe. And I'm asking, Lord, for the future, bless my family, my newborn, and those newborns that are due next few months or so. And in your name we pray, amen.